Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is on the new cream product from Fenty Beauty. Fenty recently came out with a full line of bronzers and blushes, but these are all in a cream form and I was dying to try them. As some of you might know, I have super dry skin, and so cream products always attract me, especially if they work. So I couldn't wait to get my hands on these. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I applied them, if they're easy to blend or not, how the pigment payoff is, and basically everything you need to know about this launch. I hope you guys are excited for it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you leave if you liked it. If you're new here, my name is Patty. I do tons of videos like this, doing makeup tutorials and reviews, so I hope that you stick around and subscribe to my channel. Remember to ring the bell as well if you want to get notified every time that I upload. And if you're excited for this video, then just keep on watching. I cannot wait to try these. I have had them for like 2 days now, and I was waiting to make this video. But of course, before we put those on, I have to put on some foundation and concealer, so let me go ahead and do that first. So first things first, we're gonna put on some of this Dior primer. I wore it a couple days ago and I really liked it all day, so we're gonna do it again. By the way, this eye look is also part of that video that is coming soon still. I know I keep teasing you guys about it, but I've just for some reason been taking my sweet time with it. I'm in no rush and it'll be up this week, I promise. For foundation, we're going to do the Pat McGrath Labs foundation, and I'm going to apply it with my Juno & Co sponge. I really don't like this one for underneath my eyes, but it does not absorb foundation, which I love that about it because this foundation is expensive. I don't want it to go into any sponges. It honestly applies it flawlessly. I usually only reach for this sponge when I'm putting on my Pat McGrath foundation, and if it's not this sponge, I'll just apply it with a brush. I feel like, and if you guys know that this exists, let me know, but if they were to have a softer sponge inside this fabric material, it would be perfection. I just don't like how hard the sponge is inside, but the fact that it doesn't absorb anything is glorious. It truly works really nicely, especially for foundations like this one that are a nice medium buildable coverage. For concealer, I'm going to be using my YSL Full Cover in the number 1. And on the flatter sides of my face, the sponge works fine. It's just I can't get in there with it. I'm using a brush to tap the inner corner out. Before I put any powder on my face, I'm going to get into these. Bronzer first, of course, and the color I got was the number 2, which is called Butter Biscuit. And we're going to open her up. Butter Biscuit. I'm probably saying that wrong. Ooh, and this is what it looks like. The packaging is everything. Very similar packaging to her regular powder bronzer, but this one says cream on it. And I'm a really big fan of the color of these components. Alright, so this is what it looks like inside. I feel like I chose the right color. This one should definitely work for me. Let's get started. I'm going to use a brush to apply it. This one is the Old Sephora collection number 47. They still have a brush this shape, but the bristles are different, so I'm not sure if it's the same quality. But I really like the shape of this one for like cream bronzer and blush. So let's get in it. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's keep going. I really like this color so far. I think I definitely chose the right color for me. Look at that already. I really like this. And of course, I always start where I want the pigment to be the darkest, so that will be for me back here when I'm doing my cheeks. And then I bring it forward. So pat, pat, pat in the back. Blend it up a little bit and then bring it forward ever so slightly, and I am slowly building it up to the intensity that I want it to be. Okay, I'm getting some more and we'll do the forehead. So starting very close to my hairline, pushing it back. I really like how it's turning out so far. I'm going to move on to my jawline, and I like to do the sides of the neck. I really like how brands are coming back out with cream products. I feel like we had lost them for a while, and what can I say, my very dry skin is very thankful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not put any powder on top of the bronzer and blush, and I'll come back in a few hours. I'll edit the video in the meantime and whatnot, and I'll tell you how it's been wearing without me powdering it. If you have oilier skin, definitely powder yours. The only thing I'm going to powder today is going to be the center of my forehead and underneath my eyes with a very lightweight powder, but I'm not going to powder the bronzer or the blush. With my little sponge, I'm going to just tap underneath this edge right here so that it doesn't look as sharp as it's looking right now. Just tap it in place. I'm not dragging anything down, just tapping it in place. Yeah, I like that better. See how it's like a little softer looking now? So far so good. I had 2 blushes in my cart, but here's what happened. This order was my second order from the VIB sale, which there will be a separate video talking about the VIB sale items I picked up. But the ones from my first order I haven't received yet, and then I did a second like impulse buy because I noticed that these had come out, and I bought a bronzer and I had 2 blushes in my cart that I was going to get, but then I saw that the Patrick Ta brow product had also come out, and I took 1 blush out and added that in, which, by the way, I tried this brow wax yesterday for the first time in my video and I did not use it properly. I have it on right now again, use the proper way, and it works much better than it worked on yesterday's video. So I'll definitely have to update you guys on how that works, but I mean, they're not falling today. So actually, let me just update you right now. What I did yesterday was I just went in with my spoolie on the dry wax, swirled it on there, and then tried to lift my hairs, and it made them a little fluffy, but they weren't staying up, they weren't sticking to my skin. And so what he does is he puts some setting spray, which today I used this one from Urban Decay, on the wax, and with the wet wax with the setting spray, rubs the spoolie on it, brushes it on, and then he uses the other side of the brush to make your hair stick to your skin, just like presses them down until you get the desired effect, and then they stay. So very impressed with this. I told you guys on yesterday's video that I was keeping it anyways, but I am really liking it. And even though this is the first time that I use it that it works for me, I already know it's going to be a new favorite because like my brows look great, right? Anyways, I got so sidetracked there for a second. Let's open up this blush. I got the blush in the color number 9, which is called Cool Berry. This is the beautiful little compact for the blush right here. I really liked it, and I was very confused when I bought it that the blush was so much cheaper than the bronzer, but look at the size difference. The blush is like half of the bronzer. Let's see. The bronzer is 0.22 ounces and the blush is 0.10 ounces, so it's a little bit less than half of the bronzer. And this is the color that I grabbed, which now looking at it, it looks a little dark, but it is the tone that I like, that berry mauvey type of blush, so that's why I picked this one up, and I think I'll like it. For the blush, I'm going to use this brush here. This is the Sheer Complexion brush. It's an Ulta 4 collection brush. I like it because it has the dual fibers, and I think it's not going to apply too much product. I definitely want to be able to build it up rather than have to like blend it down. So let's get in it. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And a little too dark. I like blush, but I like my blush to be barely there, so this already is a little bit too much for me. However, we have a sponge and we're not afraid to use it, so we're going to tone it down. All right, much better. I like that better. Really pretty. I'm going to get less this time, and I'm just lightly patting it on my cheek. She has tons of lighter colors. The one I took off my cart was a lot lighter than this one, but this is the one I went for, so here we are. Okay, I really like this. See, this one looks better right away because I put less of it on. I knew that it was gonna be too dark and I did too much anyways. I really love how this is turning out. I'm getting my bronzer brush and I'm just going to tap to blend things further right here, right underneath that blush. Oh, I totally forgot that I wanted to do a little bit of bronzer on the sides of my nose, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use the same little brush that I used to blend the concealer right underneath my eyes. Just very lightly swiping it down the sides of my nose all the way to my brow. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little more, and I'm going to lower the light so you can see a little bit closer with less artificial lighting what things look like. Okay, So let me turn the light down and get you a little closer. There we go. I like that the bronzer and blush have a very luminous, dewy kind of effect. I think for highlighter, just to keep everything on the cream slash liquid side, we're going to use the new Kaja Moon Stamp. I'm going to stamp a little bit up here, and with the sponge, just tap it in a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to set my under eyes and the center of my forehead a little bit. I'm going to use my Pat McGrath under eye powder, which I love. And I'm going to just get my brush ready with it and start with the forehead here. Just patting a little bit of it in the middle and also the center of my nose. And I'm going to smooth out my under eyes before I powder them. And then go in just right there. The brush I'm using is the Sigma F35. Okay, I'm going to finish up my eyes and I'll be right back to do some lipstick. No surprise to anyone, I'm going to use the Iconic Nude lip liner. I love this one so much. And because I have some rosy tones on my eyes, I'm going to do the Dance Floor Princess lipstick right here in the center. Perfect, I love that. Lastly, I'm going to do a little setting spray. This is the All Nighter Pollution Protection. Since I'm not going to powder on top of the bronzer and the blush, I definitely want to seal it in. I need one of those fans people have to dry their face. Alright, and this is what things are looking like. I feel like it's been around an hour since I applied it. It took me a while to get back to filming and my under eyes and all of that. So far, things look really good. I'm going to start editing this video. I'm going to lounge around the house. It is 2 o'clock. I want to have this video up by like maybe 8 p.m. today. So I will let you know how the products are lasting. Do remember I have very dry skin and things usually last forever on me no matter what. So you might have a different experience with these than me, but I'll try it out for a few hours just to do a bit of a wear test on it. And of course I'll update you guys on how it wore and everything. As far as the first impressions go, I really liked it. I feel like my face looks so glowy and natural. I like that I don't have a ton of product on my face. They feel very lightweight. I love how it wasn't super pigmented right away. I was able to blend them down really nicely. Even the darker blush color, I love the way it looks right now. It definitely was a bit too intense for me at the beginning, but that's because I like a very light flush toned. I don't love a lot of blush. But the bronzer I love, the color of the blush that I chose I love, and I just like all of this right now. So far, I definitely recommend both things. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, so I am back. It is about to be 7 o'clock right now, and as you can see, several hours later, this is looking the same as when I first put it on. I did just touch up with a little bit of powder, but again, I put it like underneath my eyes and in the center of my forehead. I have not powdered anywhere that has to do with the bronzer and the blush, and as you can see, it looks really nice, and to me it's staying exactly the same color and intensity, and it feels the same as when I first put it on. So I know that this is going to be a long-lasting product. I did have an update that I was thinking about while I was editing the video, and that is comparing these to the cream sticks that Fenty makes. So I don't think I have one. I don't have one because the one I have is a highlighter rather than a bronzer or blush. However, I have tried those in the past. The reason I don't have one right now is because I'm pretty sure I returned mine when it first came out a long time ago. And the reason I returned it is because those feel a lot drier. They're a lot harder to blend. These two right here blend out so nicely. They have a lot more hydration in them than the regular Fenty sticks for sure. Those other Fenty sticks definitely have more of a matte finish. They're made for people with oilier skin, and to me they're a lot harder to work with. I definitely absolutely loved both of these. I love the formula. I love how blendable and how versatile they are. I definitely want to get my hands on at least a couple other shades of the blush. Maybe I can have a different shade of the bronzer that is a bit more cool tone. I think number 3 is a bit more cool tone than number 2. So if I'm ever feeling like I need a bit more chisel, a little bit more contour, I can go up a shade in the bronzer. But so far so good. I definitely give it 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. I really like them and I do recommend them. Right now Sephora is still having a sale, so if you were looking for reviews on this before you made your purchase, go ahead and do it, girl, because they are really good. I'm going to leave you guys some links down in the description box. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this bronzer and blush. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!